Yeah, I'm muted.
I'm muted.
5, 4, 3, 2, something.
Awesome.
Hey, we're apparently live.
Now we're live. Welcome to Turn 5 Live.
We're up there.
We're up there. Welcome to the August 5th edition of Turn 5 Live. How are you guys doing tonight out there in Turn5.com land?
Turn 5.
Turn 5 Live land? Are you English?
Are you muted? Are you muted?
Are you muted? We're on. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. We got DJ Everett over here.
I'm back.
Over here we got Donovan Johns, the producer of the show and all-around Mohawk kind of guy.
Hey.
My name's Todd LaBronte. I'm the fool. And our special guest tonight, in studio, Mr. James Pahl, Hornet Massacre Nationals champion.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for coming. Huge show tonight. Appreciate you all coming in. First rule, we got a rule. We got a rule. You at home, you have to talk to us on the Twitter thing, on the message, on the right-hand side when you're looking at your YouTube thing, right?
Or if it's mobile, it's on the bottom.
Well, yeah, okay. That works,
I'm
too.
just saying.
But you got to ask us questions and interact, because this is supposed to be...
Share your big black thing with the other kid.
Yeah.
My big black thing?
Think this. There we go.
Is that a little better? But we got to have you interact with us. So we want some questions.
Yeah.
We want some stuff. We want some stuff back and forth. I know there's only 10 of you on right now. 11. We're gaining.
12, 15.
We're going right now. I know that there's some people that just sit around their TV with 15 people and watch it, so our real number's got to be in the thousands.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Million.
We got a lot to cover tonight.
We do.
This is an hour and a half that's going to go so goddamn quick. You know, some shows we sit here and we drag it out and we're like,
Like the last
what
10
else we got to
minutes,
talk
like,
about?
Usually extend to 3 hours.
I'm
Shut your hole.
Not game for that.
No. I got to go at 6 o'clock in the
We got
morning. I'm on an
school
airplane.
kids here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm still going to school.
7
I haven't
o'clock.
graduated high school yet. I'm on my 15th year of junior high. So we got a lot to work on tonight. I tell you, I haven't been more excited than I have been the last few weeks about racing.
And why is
Probably
that?
10 years. Well, in my world, the places I've been racing at from my July 21st,
Right.
when you and I sat in the stands, to our race at Hermiston, to our race here this weekend, I haven't had more fun at the racetrack in a long, long time. And thanks to all the people out there that made that happen. We're going to talk about them tonight, right, Deej?
Yes, we are.
But first, let's talk about our sponsors.
Okay.
Sponsors. So we have AC to Z Mechanical, Mark Newman,
Mark Newman!
who did not have a great night.
He had a great night. Mark got his first win in the series. He had a heat race win last night.
He did. That's right.
He jumped out front.
He had a not so good main, but yes, he had
and he
a,
kicked some serious ass in the main event. He had a good
cars
car, too. The
driving
car
the
broke.
corner
So-
and well. Looks a lot better.
Yes, Mark has also come a long ways as a driver. That was one of the best hugs I've had in a long time. Went down to his pit and he gave me a hug, thinking at that win. That was pretty
Did you get the one with the wrench in the pocket hug?
Was that a wrench? Damn, I thought it was. Never mind. But that's good.
there.
That's good, D. Oh, we will talk tonight about the ultimate line ever uttered at Meridian Speedway.
That'll come.
We will come. But I've got to talk about AC to Z Mechanical.
Yeah.
Mark is coming over to my house and do work on my house tomorrow.
Nice.
So I got to tell you that's a testimonial that he's coming out to do work because he said my air conditioner sucks and we need to fix it. So we're going to do that.
Your barbecue.
Other sponsors we have, Tony Flores.
And the Flores
group
group.
at Keller Williams, our old buddies that have been kicking butt for us for a long time. Tony was in Cascade this weekend.
Yep.
He didn't get it. He missed out.
Yeah. Oh man.
I promise you, somewhere in Cascade, there was not a pace car jumping through a bunch of cars on turn 3, 4.
Nope.
That
No
didn't
way.
happen in Cascade. Well,
Did
it
not.
might have happened on Highway 55,
But
but it wasn't probably a pace car.
probably not. Probably a truck hauling a
Long-
crane.
Some train.
Crane.
What?
Crane.
Oh, you're going off Lloyd on us, aren't you?
Oh, Mark Floyd.
That's the second best thing uttered this weekend out of that little shithole in your mouth you call thing. Nice. So we're in rare form tonight. DJ, we also have other sponsors.
We got Lion Tamer.
Yes.
Lion Tamer.
Lion Tamer.
Lion Tamer Brood Care. We've
And
got a
the
little Charmaine's.
Charmaine's lip balm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've used it personally myself. It's
Yeah.
The Charmaine's
You
or
got my
the,
little to-go baggie of love.
how about the, you haven't
Oh,
got
yeah.
a beard, so what's the Charmaine's?
there we go.
So,
There you go. Hold them
so
up.
yeah, Charmaine.
There we go.
Going
I've used this myself.
Woo!
Sorry,
You'll
sorry.
notice tonight we got actually some different camera angles and some special effects and
Right.
things that are going to happen.
Oh,
Thank you. Riley Robert said I did a good job this weekend. I think Riley Robert did a good job this weekend. The kid's a freaking stud.
Riley
Neil
dealt with
Latham with the yee again.
We got some yee happening. That I've never heard that yee.
Right?
That's
That's
brand
new to me.
Oh shit! But they did great. That's the Joker. What did the Joker say? Serious.
Ding, 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 ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding, ding. What did the yee say? Ding, 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 Anyway,
Jungle.
also,
And you thought the
Oh,
evil
no.
destruction was bad.
Oh, yeah.
This is the hangover
no,
from the
no.
evil destruction.
FVP
Yeah.
products, these
Yep.
guys have been fantastic for us.
Oh, yeah.
We got some stuff to give away tonight. We got some vape fuel. Also, www.voltvapes.com, www.vapefuel.com. Long-time sponsors.
Vapefield.us.
Okay.
Not, I couldn't buy the .com one.
Oh, will you tell those fuckers out?
I'm going to go down to Arizona
I
and
said-
kick that guy's
You can
ass.
swear apparently too on this.
I guess so.
Evidently.
I won't
And,
hold back then.
and we can drink. And
I want you to know,
Going
I'm
hard
getting in
tonight.
touch with my feminine side. I'm drinking a Mike's Hard watermelon tonight.
I got the black cherry.
And DJ's drinking fresh
DJ's
piss.
going hard.
Or that's Arizona's. Never mind. I thought that was piss in a cup. There you go. It looked like piss from my angle.
Save me for my piss test tomorrow.
Gotcha.
He's a bus driver. He is hauling around your children. That's something to think about right there. So we really got to thank those guys too. Also, the Royal Purple Modified Series and Royal Purple Synthetic Oils. We got a ring going on. We got a
Got a
Chad
ringer.
Barker calling just because that's what he
Chad's
does
trying
right in the
to
middle of the show.
Yeah.
Right. Chad's like, I can't figure out the link to the show. Someone help me.
Yeah, Chad. Well, mix in a toothbrush and figure it out. Right, DJ. Let's talk about the national scene. What happened
boy.
today?
Oh boy. Well, you know what?
The bandwagon has begun.
Okay. Before we get to that,
All right.
some NASCAR Xfinity news.
Who?
NASCAR Xfinity.
Alex Friddick.
They were racing at Watkins Glen, both series. were. Yesterday, Joey Logano wins. It was actually a race that actually ran in the rain most of the race, and it ended up.
Logasmo won, huh?
Yeah.
Orgasmo.
So Christopher Bell was shooting for his fourth straight win. He ended up ninth, unfortunately. More Xfinity news. Bill Elliott is going to be coming out of retirement.
Oh, I'm going to tune in for that. I'm staying home.
He's going to be racing in one off race at Road America on August 25th, later this month. Bill Elliott.
Awesome,
Wow.
Bill.
Yeah, he's coming out of retirement. Just for one race.
It's amazing.
Yep, Road America. So today's race at Watkins Glen, first time winner in his third year in the Cup Series, Chase Elliott, got his first career NASCAR Monster Energy Cup win. But wasn't without a little bit of drama. Two turns to go. The engine starts stumbling, starving for fuel. As he crosses the start-finish line, the thing is out of fuel.
Awesome. You know, I'm happy you won, but the bandwagon begins now.
Yeah.
Because as you guys know, I watch stuff a little differently from NASCAR angles.
Yeah.
They've been trying to build the next superstar really hard.
Yep.
And when NAPA came on board, huge NASCAR sponsor, the history, the fact that his dad was a past Winston Cup champion, one of the best drivers of all time, they've been pushing this kid hard. You know, down our throats, extra coverage during the races and all this other stuff, especially 2 years ago. They kind of laxed a little bit. They kind of went away from that program, but you could really tell that they were pushing, trying to get Chase Elliott to become the next great thing.
Yeah.
And he hadn't won a race yet. And you got Larson sitting over there who's got more talent. He's got talent on loan from A.J. Foyt.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Exactly.
and you barely hear about the kid because his sponsors don't buy time on NASCAR's telecasts. Right. But you got Chase Elliott, who's Hendrick, and he's got NAPA, you know, Napa know-how and all that horse shit. So what do you got? You got Chase Elliott. They're trying to build up. Anyway, so I see through that shit.
I don't understand why any ownership group would want to play favorites with anybody. I don't get it.
Money.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Will always kill you.
NASCAR's for sale because, you know, the kids are running the ground and they're trying to find their next superstar for somebody to watch TV. Hopefully they found it. I like the kid. He's a nice kid and he seems to drive his ass off. But there's other stories out there.
He's had almost 10 second place finishes.
Oh, yeah.
He finally breaks through and gets the win today.
I watch
so.
guys like Matt Dibideno or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He came out of the Outlaw Car ranks, actually ran over in Caldwell, San Hollow with us once. And that kid right there has got all talent, but he can't get a ride up in the top ranks. Why? Because he doesn't have that last name and stuff.
You got to bring $5 million in your pocket just to make a start.
Mm-hmm. No F1 race this weekend, but a little bit of news. Daniel Ricciardo, who drives for Red Bull, he's going to be leaving Red Bull at the end of the year. He's going to be joining Renault next year.
Wow.
So he's going to leave a spot open there on the Red Bull team. A very good car, as a matter of fact. So a little bit surprised about that move.
I thought Chase Elliott was going to take that ride.
Possibly. Yeah, 4 races to go in the IndyCar Series. Scott Dixon has a 46-point lead over Alexander Rossi. Their next race is 2 weeks from now at Pocono. So, bless you.
God bless you.
Pretty much my favorite time of the year, only because I'm just saying this for myself. My favorite time of
Fire
the
season?
this coming week starts the annual Knoxville Nationals.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had people telling me that Rico won the Knoxville Nationals and all that kind of stuff this week. And I'm like, yeah, he did. He won the 360, the preliminary to the Knoxville Nationals. They're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know when Knoxville is. Holy shit.
Starts on Wednesday.
Yeah,
It's
baby.
on Saturday, so
Yeah, baby.
love it.
And Dirt Vision isn't going to be able to cover it because they're taping it all. So there's not going to be live streaming of it. Right. From what I understand, there's not going to be live streaming of the Knoxville Nationals, first time in 15 years. Really? It bums me right on out. Well, next weekend we got...
Might as well just go to it. I went to it back in 2012, and I loved it. So.
Let me think about it. No, I can't afford
2015, I'm sorry.
I'm going to Europe. I can't afford that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Depends on how much money I spend in Europe. Depends if Donovan will go with me.
Hey, I am not that kind of date.
Donovan?
I mean, I'm all good for the reach around under the table, but Europe?
Well, you'd be waiting a while.
European.
No, I'm not. I went earlier. What else going on in the nation?
That's about it for the.
Nothing else happened?
Yeah, we covered all the major stuff. There's kind of a quiet week.
Cool.
F1 and IndyCar has a couple weeks off, so it's pretty much just NASCAR.
Let's talk about the race in the rain then for a couple seconds. You know, it's interesting. I watched a NASCAR race today. I watched Watkins Glen because the Mariners suck, and so I turned them off and started watching NASCAR a little bit. But the Mariners won today, of course, as soon as I wasn't watching them. But I saw all the windshield wipers and stuff on there. So it would have been interesting if the Cup race would have been in the rain too. Watching those guys qualify and practice and tiptoeing around in the rain, insane. You know, a lot of horsepower. It seemed to me today with Chase Elliott, he was extremely good through the bus stop.
Yeah.
And really good in that carousel. So that section off the back chute, you know, where they put in the bus stop because of J.D. McDuffie's crash right there, you know, on the back chute. And when he went through there, he was always gaining a car length. And then in the carousel, he was right down on the bottom on the yellow line, turning on that right-hander, and he was really good through that section. I think the only car that could compete with him in that section was the some kid from Vegas or something, new guy. He drives for Gibbs. I can't remember his name.
Bush.
Kyle Busch. We don't talk about him. His favorite.
I was thinking too hard here.
Well, he was fast.
I'm thinking of all these good drivers.
Typical Kyle Busch, he was probably saving his stuff. He was probably fine. And they broke the fuel filler neck on the fuel can, so they couldn't get the thing full of fuel. So on after the penalties and things that happened on the restart, he started 24th, and I believe he ran all the way up to 5th in about 20 laps there. So ain't no doubt the dude can drive. He's just a jerk.
Yeah,
you know.
I got to hand it to Chase Elliott though. During the last couple laps, Truex was on him, and and he held him up.
Truex was coming. I think that they were both at one point saving fuel, and the TV people didn't pick up on that. But there was a point there where if you watched, third place was coming back. I think they were both saving fuel, and Truex was going to, making sure he was managing his fuel. And of course, he stumbled on the last lap. Yeah. Interesting going into turn one there, where Elliott on the last lap after the white flag, Elliott said he. In his post-race interview that he started tire hopping, and then he kicked the car into neutral to stop the tire hop because the motor was making the tires chatter, right, from down deceleration. So when he did that, it was interesting for me to think about. That's pretty good reflexes. Yeah. But he almost cost him the race, of course.
Hey, Tom, we're getting a lot of static off of your cord. Can you unplug that and plug it back in real quick?
The fans will love that. No
right?
listen.
Yay, no Todd! Yoo-hoo! The trick worked! The trick worked!
Is that better?
Yeah, there we go. No more popping.
I guess during weeks like this, when it's kind of quiet on the national front, maybe we should incorporate some.
There we go.
Of course, it's
NHRA or something like that. But I don't know.
All right.
I like my shirt.
I like
Fix that.
Yeah.
Hudzinger.
I didn't pay for this, so I can know somebody. I'm not sure.
No one gives me free shit.
They're trying to buy a ruling or something.
You're not Todd LaBronte, apparently. So
look at the back of this shirt too. It's bitchin'.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that is
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
He's gonna fall over in the house. That's great.
I tell you what, it was
Todd down.
It was great to see those guys this weekend.
Oh yeah, you talking
awesome.
about classy, quality folks.
Yeah,
really good people.
I've been waiting for them to come for a while, and Brad's been a longtime friend of mine, and Mike Fulmer and the whole group there are great folks. I don't even want to get into what's going on in Pocatello. It's just great to see my friends. That's all I care about.
It's good they made the haul over.
Yeah.
It's always nice to see Brad.
Coming into local then. We had quite a little event last night. A little shindig at the fairground, at the dairy barn, at the racetrack.
What are we talking about?
There's a little firework display, little car action.
I guess you're talking about what happened at Meridian Speedway last night.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Some more.
I'm good. I've been working since 8 this morning.
Pat Tully.
Nice.
This is the highest I've ever seen the people watching. It's 30. This is the highest I've ever
There's a
seen.
couple of guys who are really high.
It's only because we got James Pahl with us. That's why.
Yeah.
They all want to see James.
Right? Should have you guys switch?
I know. They need to see me more than you.
Hang on. I'm probably not.
Hold on.
I got less ads than anybody.
Boom. Look at that.
Look at Dono. Dono's about to break this whole fucking deal. He's about.
I've got keyboard controls again.
Right on. Right on. Hey, yeah.
Bam.
Speaking of the toys you got to play with, you got anything queued up we can watch?
I don't yet. Depending on kind of where we head, I have a bunch of stuff lined up here
We're gonna
to
be able to
play
watch
with.
videos on TV on here.
Yes.
I got shit fixed.
Stuff's gonna break here.
Right? It's going down.
3, 2,
Baby
1.
steps.
Baby
Each week.
steps.
We're improving.
I'm just happy I can do that again.
It's
Yay!
a baby with MS or something. So we
Right?
can start taking a step and fall on our ass.
Some ADD going on.
It'll happen.
Oh God.
James, we get raw around here a little bit. James.
Yeah, I
It's
can tell.
James is like 12,
That's
so we got to
fine.
be careful.
Yep.
with the
That
raw.
is blurry. Oh man, what's up with that camera?
12 and a half. Okay.
Probably got vapes. Probably got vaped on the lens.
Probably. It happens.
My fault.
I'll
Sorry.
play with that one.
Put some Charmaines on it.
So Bobby Gilligan says, I'm coming up for the cancer race on August 11th, and my brother Scott Gilligan is racing his cancer car. I just fought and beat breast cancer. Yeah.
That is awesome, Bobby. Congratulations.
Yes,
Let's give Bobby
yes.
the clap.
Clap.
Everybody give Bobby the clap.
Yep.
Oh. I guess it's just.
Nice job.
You
We just gave
Didn't know. Sorry.
Scotty, we gave your sister the clap.
eventually.
Okay.
Sorry, Bobby, that's just how we talk.
Yeah.
But, yeah, definitely. Last night at Meridian Speedway was one of the funnest nights I think I've ever had at the racetrack. They continue to.
Yeah, in the 10 years I've been going there, that's a top 5 easy.
Easy, yeah.
Easy.
Some of the Diamond Cup stuff when Worf went out there and ran the 10, that kind of thing was pretty cool. But that was right there. The fans were incredible last night. I was telling the guys here off camera before we started, when I was in turn 3 there and we'd go 1 to go, before the modifieds went back to restart or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
The fans were up in the stands going, "Woo, dude, 1 to go, yeah!" They're all down there, "Woo, dude, yeah, 1 to go." I'm like, God, these guys
Just
are
like that?
pretty much.
Oh yeah.
And they were inebriated. I'm like, yeah, they're into it. And it was a fun show. It was a fun show to do. I thought our show was good, and then I thought the racetrack put on one hell of an effort to get that pulled off last night. And for the fans that didn't get in, if anybody's watching, I doubt they are, that didn't get into the racetrack because they were sold out, or you chose not to come because you don't like smash 'em crash 'ems, you missed out on some very, very good racing.
Yep.
And the Legends class in particular, I thought that main event was spectacular. I thought our main event had a lot of drama in it. The side-by-side heat race finishes in the claimers were incredible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
In between, all 3 of us were working on the series last night, so we didn't have a lot of time to watch those races, but we caught the last couple laps, and we're all fans too.
I loved watching the Hyde brothers just putting on a clinic out there, and I was like, you got to get on the inside. But I'm like, he's not gonna total Lowther's car. He just kept looking on the inside, going into one, and then you see him lift early. Just I can't get in there.
Yeah.
I was like, go, get it, get it.
That's your O-face.
It is almost.
Yeah, you almost. Poor Donna.
Oh, there we go.
So we ready to do some video? Do you got anything ready to show us?
I'm queuing stuff.
Donovan's
up.
ready to
It
queue up
takes a
some
minute.
videos here. It's
I'm
be
a
kind of
little
nice.
slow on the draw here, folks.
Well,
All right, so we did have this. Oops. For the
So Donovan's going to play with some stuff. So if we lose you, it's because
we're not losing.
we totaled out a pace car last night, which was pretty wild. That got me. DJ, talk about that. Tell us what happened on that.
That got me.
You were on the front sheet doing interviews.
I was doing work for I-10 last night in front of the camera, and I was interviewing Scott Gilligan, winner of the fast heat race for the Royal Purple Modifieds. And all of a sudden, we see officials running around. We see security running around, and a lot of commotion. And Scott Gilligan was distracted. I got distracted. We had to actually retake the interview 4 times, and we still didn't get it right because we kept on getting distracted. So we said,
Because of why?
because apparently at first we thought a fan from the stands ran onto the racetrack, jumped in the pace car, and took off with it.
That's kind of what happened.
Shades of Talladega back in whatever 1990,
whatever it was.
yeah, 1980 something. But
Yep.
yeah, he took off in it, and apparently some people knew about it, some people didn't know about it. I didn't know about it, and I heard some of the security guards. Some of them didn't know about it either.
There was quite a bit of action in the pits
Yeah.
when they did the drive-through
So-
through the pits.
So what's his name?
Chuck
Youngblood.
Youngblood, yeah.
All right, he jumps out of the stands, right? And they're
Yep.
doing the trophy dash stuff.
It's got a
Right?
bucket of
Yeah.
beer.
He's got a bucket of beer. He jumps over the wall like where the flagman sits, and starts running around. Security's trying to grab him and stuff, and they're just playing along. They don't realize, they know it's kind of a deal. But he jumps into the pace car, takes off with it, and drives around the track 3 or 4 times with the pace truck trying to get him and stuff.
Yeah.
then they keep saying clear the pit lane, clear the hot lane, the pits, and we're trying to do lineups and stuff. So
And there's nobody in the hot lane, really.
There's nobody in the hot lane.
What
They're just keeping it clear.
Yeah.
So he goes into the pits and puts on a helmet and does his belts and stuff like that in the pace car, and then comes out on the racetrack. Are you ready to show? Please? All right, here we go. It's on. Watch it, bottom right here. Here he comes. Here he goes. This is Meridian Speedway's pace car,
There was maybe, 20 people who knew that was about to happen.
Yep. Let's give Adam Nelson and Meridian Speedway
a
clap. Because
Scott Gilligan and I were down there. We're going, is this really happening? We didn't know anything about this until we walked back to the pit area. We finally got let in on the
there's
joke.
more to it because I was back in the pit area right at the thing going, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I knew they were going to crash the pace car, but I was sworn to secrecy, right? And I know the backstory, but I had no clue about Youngblood. That they did this production of getting him on the track. So Josh gets out of the car and they're throwing him on the ground. He's taking his stuff off and he breaks free on purpose, right? He goes running into the pit entrance.
Right.
Security in the pits had no clue. They thought this was some hooligan that actually did this shit.
Yeah.
And they're like grabbing him and throwing him on the ground and tackling him. I'm yelling at Donovan, tackle that asshole. And then Donovan's like, why? He's my friend. And I'm like, I didn't know who he was.
I'm watching them coming down. They're all getting set up to make that corner. I'm down over at the end of the coal pit wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, this is a setup. And then he makes that corner and, whoa!
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Todd's over there at the entrance of the track. Like, oh my
Kick that guy's ass.
And that security guard's trying to tackle him down.
And we want to thank Kyle Clayton for the video on that from his Facebook page. Kyle was kind of in on something there. He had a sneaky suspicion. That's Donovan's
That's the picture I took. That's the picture I took.
That's yours?
Walking across the track. And I still thought, it was for real.
If you want to know the backstory on that is the car was actually totaled out in a freak accident here about a month ago. They got the money from the insurance company and so forth, paid the car off, whatever they did there, and then they bought the car back from salvage. Made it look like the pace car again, put a little hoop in it and stuff, and made it a little bit stronger, and set us all up for about a month. So that stunt there was a month in the making, and hats off to the crowd at Meridian Speedway for putting on a hell of a show. That was incredible. The thing that's crazy about that is nobody in the stands got pictures or film of it because nobody knew it was going to happen. Nobody had their phones ready, except Kyle Clayton.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we should really give a shout out to the security guards, though.
You got to talk in the mic. Right?
Yeah.
A little closer.
I think we should give a shout out to the security guards for doing their job,
Right.
and actually going after them. I think they did a really good job.
There was the security guard back there
We'll get there, Bobby.
A couple other guys were just they were trying to take Youngblood down.
Yeah.
And he was just trying to get out.
And he's not a small guy.
Well, he's kind of short, but he's
like,
a filler.
I'm in on this. This is me.
No, we're good. We're good.
He's like, I gotta go get the heat race here.
Unbelievable.
That was a ton of fun.
That was
that.
That was incredible.
And we had some jet car stuff going on last night.
Some jet cars.
Mark Atamian from Madera, California, once again brought the Beast out.
That's good.
He's a regular at the Eve of Destruction for many years. He's been doing this for 25 years, he told me. And 6,500 pounds of, what was it?
Turbine.
I guess that's what it is. That's what they call it in that kind of, that lingo, I guess. But
it's a helicopter turbine.
Yeah. The thing I liked about that, though, was this year, it was done at night.
The burn down and all that stuff with the cameras and the phones and shit.
That was done at night. I loved it. Compared to years past, it was done during the day.
I think Donald's looking for some film of that so we can get it up. That'd be incredible. But
I got too much stuff here.
He's got two Donovan's.
Here
we go. There's some. We saw something.
Yeah,
Hang
this
on.
is earlier in the day when he brought it out just for an exhibition.
Yeah, he did some pops and some stuff and flying around
I was
the
in the
racetrack.
booth. I mean, that thing popped.
All right, let's talk about the ultimate saying the best thing I've ever seen. He's doing his burnouts. He's going around the racetrack. He fogged the motor really hard and it didn't hit one of his pops, and it completely doused the south end of the main grandstand. It was completely doused with that kerosene steam that goes out this thing.
Right over the
And I'm like, look at the crowd. Donovan goes, okay, dude, we get it. You think. I lost it. I was busted it out. I didn't think I could work there. We get it. You think. Probably. Put our kid on.
Yep.
They're cussing and drinking on. Yeah. Anyway, great job by the Beast. And you know, one thing I like about it is about 4 years ago, we were at Magic Valley. We had a jet car come and do some pops and stuff. And
Didn't quite go so well.
Didn't go quite so well. The jet car went out the front chute, did a couple pops, pop, 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 and blew a fuel line and dumped about 80 gallons of kerosene right on the front chute at Magic Valley. It's one of the reasons they had to repave the track. One of a couple other reasons too, but had to repave the track. The track was junk. We still had our main event to go. I was less than thrilled.
No, and it's just before the mods came out. Yep. Good times, good times.
That was crazy, but yeah, a lot of fun. Hopefully everything's still up, Donovan. You're doing a good job so far as our producer. You're kicking some butt. So that brings us to our guest. We have a special guest tonight. If you notice, our threesome is now a foursome. We actually, DJ's actually back in studio.
Right? Yeah.
And he can hear him and stuff.
Sheba has been replaced by the original DJ.
I found my way out of California finally. So.
Why would you even want to go?
Oh, watch out for the ceiling fan. Sheba's still hanging out. Dude, that's Manny's dog.
Your grandma's dog is a beast.
Did you hear that, Grandma?
Get the peanut butter! Get the peanut butter!
Hang on, I'm interviewing Sheba. So, Sheba, tell me about Donovan. What's he like to live with? Well, it'd be nice to have some kibble rather than some peanut butter once in a while. Takes up too much room in the bed. Alpo, Dono. Alpo.
Purina 1.
Oh, God.
Back to racing.
Yeah, back. Not only were the mods out there, which we'll get more into here in a little while, but Eve of Destruction really is about the Hornets and the Bombers. That's kind of the draw, the thing. And James here. James is lately one of the.
Hang on,
one of the big guys.
Use my mic.
Oh,
Use my mic because I don't know much about Bombers and
Hornets.
Bomber champions, and he's the talent.
You got talent. You got talent. You're talented, buddy.
I have no idea what you're talking about now at this point.
This sucks. this is water. This sucks.
So anyway, James, let's see, how long you been running high school tuners? Started what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
No, like 7, I think.
Whatever, you're not that old.
Yeah,
I refuse to believe it.
I started racing in the Hornets when I was 14.
Oh wow.
I'm 21 now, so Hornets
good
for
because
7
we
years.
gave you liquor.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, and before that, I think I was about 12 when I ran my first junior Stinger race.
Nice.
So I've been at Meridian Speedway for a long, long time.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've turned obviously a lot of laps. You got a lot of good wins.
Yeah.
So you've got.
Well, finally, he bought this one car.
Yeah.
Right.
He bought this one car.
He has
finally.
a car with pedigree.
Yeah.
This year came from somebody else we might know.
I don't really know him that well.
Is
a car that
your 2015 championship car?
Yeah, my 2015 championship car. I hold very close to my heart. I'm glad it's gone to someone, actually a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you that some of the best races I've had in my life in the Hornet division was against this guy right here.
Nice.
There's that one night you were in our Heath's car.
Yep.
And you and I had a photo finish at the line. Well, just about a photo finish at the line for the main event.
About the whole main event, you and I were side by side.
You and I were side by side. Yeah, that was
a little bit faster car, and I was just holding you off.
2015.
Yeah.
The best race I ever had in my life was against this guy right here, and he won.
Too.
And I finished second. I still think that was the best race I ever had in my life. So some of the best races I've had. Right there. He's a good friend of mine too. But this year, you're looking good.
We all missed your stepdad in the worst freaking way too.
I know.
Yeah.
Sean Hackworth. I don't know if you guys know that James and Sean are father and son, essentially, and I'm talking and not even on them. Yeah.
no, that's fine. We'll just pod that back down a little bit.
But yeah, Sean Ackworth, we miss him like crazy. So Sean, if you're watching from Scipio, Utah, we miss you, bud.
Yeah.
So you've had a good year. You got a car over from Ray's Auto Care, Shannon.
Yes.
The Shannons have hooked you up.
The Shannons, they've been awesome this year. Anytime I needed something, because I had my truck, it was down for months and months, and anytime I had a race, they just said, "Come on over, we'll let you borrow ours," and they've been a huge help. Also, my girlfriend, she does all this. Yeah.
That's okay. I'll text her in the back here real quick.
Yeah. Well, she does all the setup on my car. She does everything back in the pits.
It's awesome.
She's really amazing. I couldn't ask for anything more.
So let's talk about this year. Most notably, the one race, Monster Truck Night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured we'd get to this.
So, Adam put out the word that if you, take one of the jumps, you get an extra, I don't know what it is, 100 points, 300 points, 500 points. And you were the only taker.
Yeah.
So what was going through your mind? No one did it yet, and the race is over, and you decided to go ahead and do it. What was going through your mind? What made you decide you were going to go ahead and do that?
Well, the main event came around, and they had word about it before. They didn't specify of how many points, and everybody was asking me, "Are you gonna do that jump? Gonna do that jump? Gonna do one of the jumps?" I was like, "Yeah, it just depends on how many points." Because I was about 200 points behind the leader.
Yeah.
Back then, and haven't ever won a championship before, so I was really itching to get one. And I did my best to get up to the front of that race, but I only got third. And coming around after the start-finish line through the checkers, came around, I just lined up straight with that jump, and I just thought, you know what, if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, and they're going to win the championship. So I just said, screw it.
And when you landed, how was the feeling? Pretty hard?
Oh, well, yeah, it hurt.
We all saw that video.
Yeah.
Oh, I could probably pull it up.
Yeah, it's on...
Yeah.
So personally, I know I don't own that car anymore, but I still have emotional ties to that car.
How did your car owners feel about that?
They were not too happy.
I think I was at their shop on Monday, and they were still processing
Yeah.
that experience.
They just wanted me to win. They didn't want me to jump it.
Yeah. So I think you have about 4 races to go in the season. You've got pretty much a commanding lead, so it's pretty much just show up. Do you think show up and just maintain?
Yeah. If all the races go normally, I think that's what it'll be. But I do think there will be a possibility for a lot of bonus points throughout the
Right.
the.
Yeah, you never know what Adam's going to do.
Yes.
He's been known to, triple points, quadruple points. So
As of last week, before last night, you are 321 points over second place Neil
Wasmith.
Wasmith, yeah.
I always have to really stop and
Yes.
look at that name. So you got a little bit of a lead.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little
Now,
cushion.
last night's race was kind of interesting. Monica was right there.
Yes, I was.
She was right there.
I was so surprised. She came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
She's had some really good runs this year.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't let her fool you. She knows
Right?
She knows how to
how to drive
drive.
those
Is
cars.
that car ever going to die? That 11 car?
Yeah, how
not.
old is that car?
I remember
It
I
goes
was
back a ways.
I was about 10 feet away when it tumbled.
the
It
back
barrel
stretch.
rolled about 3 times.
God Lord,
On the back stretch.
That's
those
same
little
car, like
Fords,
three.
they're
That
hard
was
to
like,
kill.
that was like back in
Yeah.
2012 or 2013 when she rolled it, and it comes back out and it's still.
It's still fast.
I
don't think
he
they-
jumps this car and the thing's still fast.
Yeah.
Well,
It
and,
got faster actually after I jumped it.
and then you took a good lick last night.
Yes, I
that
did.
radiator is
It's pretty bent up.
it's
But yeah, it's been about like a 140-degree angle. It's like maybe
yeah
like
that radiator it's nasty.
You think it's
It was-
toast, but
Yeah.
it ain't
didn't
leaking.
leak.
Fans are working.
That race.
fans work.
that
It
race
wasn't
on.
leaking.
That race was entertaining, but it looked like it was pretty brutal out there. Ray took a couple good shots there.
Oh yeah.
I
I saw his head go about
Yeah.
right here to right there.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
More
So-
safety gear needed.
Yes.
And that kind of stuff, yes.
Just FYI, the only time I've ever been hurt in a race car was in a demolition derby. And I felt that for months. And I still have problems with my neck and sleeping because of it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I'm not into that shit.
I still have my doodad shoulder here.
No doo-dah.
The Enduro.
Yeah.
Talking about the Enduro? That's when
uh,
my car got wrecked. Also, yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
a fun
remember
race.
did you go to the hospital in that one or
Yeah.
something like that? I
Yeah,
remember,
I spent the night in the
the all-weather 300 back in 2016.
Yeah, I spent,
My car was
about 6-8 hours in the
We were doing it in teams, and my car was running second at the time with Ryan Bailey driving it, and the 7-car pileup on the front straightaway involved my car and you, and some people got hurt in that one. So
That was a fun one.
I wish they'd do that again.
Yeah, me too. I'm all over it.
Well, I was in Arizona when they did it, so I never got the
Adam,
chance.
I told Adam we needed a 12-hour endurance race with 4 people, $200 a head, so you got $800 per car, and you have to have all 4 drivers drive at least 2 hours, right?
yeah,
And I think that would be incredible.
yeah.
The transponders hold up that long; it's not a problem. So it start at 9 o'clock in the morning, finish at 9 o'clock at night, something like that.
So there you go, Dan.
They could literally do the 24-hour of Le Mans as a circle track.
Lemons. 24
Lemons.
hours of lemons.
If you want to do it,
Lemons.
Yeah,
Right?
I can find 2 other people too.
I would actually work on a Hornet for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Hornet.
And that's when everybody.
Dan
brings
Breach,
out
are you
their
listening to
Hornets,
this?
Is for the
Another
endurance.
idea for you.
Yep. Now, wait. Back that up. Take it to Twin. Include the road course.
Ooh,
Half road course, half oval.
Uh-huh.
yes.
Have a roval
Roval.
I would... Yeah.
in a minivan.
Well, all 4 people stay inside the car the
Yep.
whole time.
No one can ever get out.
And you have to do a Chinese fire drill.
Yeah.
Oh man,
You have about 25 seconds on the start-finish line.
Another idea, Dan. There you go. That'd be kind of cool, actually.
I'm in.
Me too.
Look at the four of us.
We could throw watermelons at the back too.
He's on the skinny one. We'd have to change the seat out. We'd all be fine.
I'll just hold pillows.
Right? You just stuff the suit.
We just lose some freaking weight. Jeez.
Nah.
That wants to do that.
Let's add an extra 1,000 pounds to the car.
Yep.
So getting back to James here.
Yes. So last night.
You've done some mini stock racing. You have any aspirations of doing some more mini stock racing?
Yes, I really want to move up in classes. I've been in the Hornets for a very long time. The whole thing is just money and time. I've always worked on a low budget, so it's just slowly getting up. Just building some. Because when I do it, I don't want to go out there and putt around the back. Which I've been taking my old Hornet out there, and that's kind of what I've been doing. And I haven't raced the last race just because I'm tired of putting around the back.
You can only be lapped 5 times in a 25-lap race.
Yeah.
So many times.
Right.
Exactly. And no, I'm working on a build right now with Josh Jackson. I want to thank him too for all the help he's given me this season. Anytime I've ever needed him, he's always been there, and he's really done a lot for me. But hopefully you'll have a good one out by the end of this year, if not next year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Not too sure, but I always want to move up.
Yeah.
So what's your aspirations as far as where do you want to go? What would be, average budget? Where would you want to be? Would you want to do the late model thing, the Pro 4 thing, the modified thing, sprint car thing? Where are you looking?
Well, ultimate goal is sprint cars, definitely.
Follow the Colton Nelson plan. Hornets, sprint cars.
Yeah, but
Mini stocks are in there.
yeah.
Somewhere in there.
For a season.
Well, I would like to, have. I really enjoy the Pro 4s too. I love all the Pro 4
That's
guys.
right. You got some of that.
People.
I got to drive the Pro 4 for one race. It was really awesome. Had a lot of fun. I think I did pretty good. Everybody was saying that I did a really good job in it, and I would like to get in one of those. But I mean, eventually, my ultimate goal is a sprint car, wing sprint car, non-wing sprint car. I remember being a kid and being out there watching Brandon Johnson. He was like, I was his biggest fan back in the day, and I was always screaming for him, and he would always get up to the lead by going sideways through all the corners on a asphalt track. But
just a shoe and a half in that guy.
Yeah. But just seeing the way those cars handle and how fast they are, it just looks like so much fun.
Oh yeah.
So that's
it's like an open outlaw card where you have the CR500s in there and you got to run them with the throttle. And,
That's cool.
That's why those guys are so good. They all came out of the outlaw kart ranks, and that was second nature to them. Sierra, Brian, Brandon.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today. With your son and everybody else who's running with, and with the Spears and everyone else, Spires. You learn a ton of car control and the ability to really read traffic and read the track and know what you're doing when you come up through those ranks. That's a skill.
Not to digress, just for 1 second. How about that race up at Evergreen this past weekend? 31 cars showed up.
Yeah, at the Rory Price Memorial.
Yeah, 31 cars.
I went up to that race 2 years ago. TJ and I did, and it was King of the Wing too at the time. And they ran Saturday night at Monroe and Sunday at Wenatchee. And the best sprint car race I've ever seen in my life. Matt Hine and Jeff Montgomery bouncing off one another. Last night was an incredible race up there. And hats off to local Colton Nelson for making the haul up and running ninth.
That's awesome.
That's right in there. And he won the B main to get there.
Yep.
Qualified really well, but didn't transfer because they did their heat race transfer thing where you have to finish in the top 4 of your heat race to make the main.
Right.
But, Colton's a hell of a shoe.
Yeah. So Kimberly Matuska says James is top notch.
That's good.
We agree with that.
And if anybody out there is looking for someone to either sponsor or to get some wheel time,
there you go.
He's looking.
He's right here.
Yeah. As good as they get at his level, and he's going to get better at the levels above him. So
Definitely.
Over the years, I used to be timid and very self-conscious, but after so long, I've really gotten confident with myself and my driving ability.
Yeah.
I think it was really getting into that Pro 4 and being able to run a decent time in it, my first time out in it. But, it's all about confidence. If you want to do it, you got to do it right.
Yeah.
And being able to get into good equipment and have a good crew to help you and to guide you through it, man, that's huge.
Yeah, definitely. So
and commit. You have to commit. I mean, I was talking to a guy last night who I admire greatly after the races were all over. We sat and had a beer in my trailer. And I've known the man 25 years of my life. He's won more races out there than anyone. If you figured out who I'm talking about by now, maybe. But I used to battle with him door to door. But that guy committed his entire life to making that Pro 4 fast. Ken Chandler.
Yeah.
And there was times that he would go without eating, but he'd make certain he had new rubber on his car.
Yeah.
And Ken Chandler's got a great success record because of that. So the commitment there is big too.
Yeah.
Moyne Morph, James Telford, Danny Christiani, Trevor Christiani, they devoted their life to making themselves faster.
Yeah.
And you tip your cap to them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I do want to say something about James. Not only is he's a good driver, he's a great friend. He's also a great guy.
Yeah.
One of my Hornet races I went back in 2015, pulled in the victory lane, and he actually came out of the stands and got on the track, and he beat my wife onto the track and actually congratulated me and hugged me on the track, and I remembered that. And yeah, he's a great friend. So with 4 races left, we hope you do hang on and win that championship and give that car its second championship. That would mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no.
that'd be great. And for someone like you, that'd be awesome.
I think you've got about 2 weeks to fix that front end. And you never know. After that, it could be even faster.
Even faster.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I really want to thank you guys for letting me on the show, too.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. No, you're
Yeah.
perfect for this show.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
You can hang out if you want, and as we talk some more stuff here.
I'd love to
Hang out.
Yeah, we're
Hang
going to go
out.
more Eva Destruction because there was
Yeah.
so much
Oh, yeah.
so much that happened last night.
It was a long night.
Yeah.
It was.
So let's give James let's give James clap. James Pahl
give
the
it a
clap. You've now got the clap.
Thank you.
We've been giving out
Okay.
the clap
I
so
don't know what
much.
to say anymore.
We're going to have the CDC down here. We're giving out so much clap.
That ain't right, dude.
So Dan Breach, Adam, we've given you some couple of ideas.
Right?
I like that van. I love that van thing.
the van idea with
Oh,
the drivers
man.
in the car and having to do the hot swap.
But they got to be doing something when they're back. You got to be throwing stuff or something.
Well, no, you're
Quarts of oil. You gotta be doing
Some of that royal purple stuff.
vaping.
vaping.
Where's my
Something.
vape?
Where?
I think that's awesome, though. That's a good idea.
No, that'd be a lot of fun.
Hey, Sam Newcomer's chiming in tonight. We
Newcomer. Hey, Sam, he's still down in California. So.
Still?
Yeah, we got to get him back.
He'll be back here.
Someone's
in a
got
while.
to beat cancer and get the hell back up here.
He's on his way to doing that. He's
I know.
badass.
He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, I got to tell you that up here, the Turn 5 live
Wait.
sign, Donovan packed it to the racetrack. We got a lot of good looks
Yeah.
at it this weekend. It hung
Yeah.
in the Royal Purple Modified Series trailer.
Yeah.
But tonight, see these shitty little hooks up here?
Right, it does not
We hooked
hold
up
metal.
to 6 of those shitty little hooks.
And all Donovan did just walk right by it, and it came off the hook.
Donald,
The sheer power.
You displace a lot of air when you're walking. And he walked
That's
by.
a
I thought
bad
air just
joke.
sucked
I thought it was
it
a,
like
I thought it was a vibration off the floor.
it was like
It was a mixture of both.
something. But anyway, it sucked it off and it fell and it man,
A little damage. We banged it out
little
though.
buff out.
Yeah.
It'll buff out.
But thank you very much, Sam Newcomer. You're an awesome dude. He's
Yeah.
coming up Saturday. That's good.
Well, he's coming. I'm not sure. He's coming back here in the next week or two. So.
He says he's coming up Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. There you go. Okay.
Hey, if
Sorry.
you're driving, Sam, if you're driving up Highway 93 and you're coming from that direction, if you're going up through the Vegas and coming up
Right.
Highway 93,
Right.
stop at Twin Falls because Saturday night where the Royal Purple Modified Series is running in the Cancer Sucks 75
Hey.
at Magic Valley Speedway. We'd love to have you there.
Yep.
Anyway, we digress. That's in the next half hour. Let's talk
but
about
hey,
this half hour. We got a lot more Eva Destruction to talk about.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
So
So we had claimers.
we had claimers, and that was a good
Love that
race.
class.
It was. Oh
I
man,
freaking love it.
it just great racing every dang time they come out there.
They have matured out as a class where top to front to back, those guys put on a show. And I've been for a decade saying how good the mini stocks are week in and week out. Anymore, I think the claimers have the claim to say they're the best show on the track on any given night. As far as
Yeah.
passing racing
For racing
competitiveness,
I agree.
Yeah.
it's fun to watch. They get to beat and bang off each other a little bit without being too much, and they're running those cars around.
Some pretty
Yeah.
cool personalities in there.
Yeah, a lot of good side by side racing. So
With Tully, with Phenopolis,
No Chippinis.
the Chippinis
Yep.
down there, Lowther when he comes out. I already said that one. The 12 car.
Seaver,
Seaver. Yeah, Todd Seaver.
Yeah.
You've got some talent, some true wheelmen out there, and wheelwomen.
anybody can win that race.
Right,
Each-
and
each
you
every
know,
time.
5 or 6 of them can
Yeah.
do it.
Wheelman.
wheel persons.
Wheelwoman.
Shoes.
You gotta be careful. Politically correct. Just wheel. I guess.
Wheel.
You can't say.
Politically correct, but yet we cuss on this show.
I think we're past that line. Today.
Horse shit. We gotta be doing. We got some. I'm sure he's a liberal, so we gotta be careful.
You notice I don't cuss.
Make
Not a
America
liberal.
great, by the way.
You notice I don't cuss on the show because if I start getting the habit of cussing, when I'm announcing at the racetrack, I'm going to start cussing as well.
He's going to be like, son of a bitch, look at him coming at us too. Holy shit.
Did you see that effing pass? Holy.
You hit it right there.
Cornhole!
Hey, we did have the Cornhole National Championships on Friday.
Yeah.
I lost.
Yes.
Donovan, did you win that?
I didn't. I
Who won the
think I left.
Cornhole
I had to
National
get Manny to
Championships?
go.
My son
Your
did.
wife.
I think he was either number one, and
He
you.
and
I played for a
Riley.
little while.
What the hell? Riley was sinking
Yeah. He had like
freaking
3 or
hole in one.
Riley's
What do you
played a
call
lot of
them?
cornhole.
I would imagine he's played cornhole quite a bit. He is
James,
really
you play
able to
cornhole
get that sack
no.
deep in that
I
hole.
know.
Does your girlfriend know about this?
I got to tell you that backing up that we had a banquet. We had a barbecue at my place for the Royal Purple guys, and we had cornhole game out. So we're not really
For
calling
those of
anybody
you
out
not
for-
in Idaho, cornhole is basically like a quasi shuffleboard you throw across the
kind of
yard.
horseshoes.
Horseshoes meet shuffleboard.
Yeah.
It's a little wooden deck, 25 feet apart. It's got a little hole cut out about 6 inches, 5 inches around.
Gotta get in
you
the
got a
hole.
bean bag. You got to chuck it. And,
Get in the hole.
yeah.
DJ got all fired up. He was like me. We were losers and shit.
Yeah.
No, best 17 out of 34.
Yeah.
We were still doing that shit. At the
We were
end of the
getting
night.
a little too competitive there. Cornhole.
It didn't work.
So
Nice. What else happened?
we were talking about claimers, though.
Claimers, yes, claimers.
Pat Tully did take the win. Taylor Archipente bring home in second, and Kendra brought home in third. So
Phenopolis had a hard night. He was running well. Blew his transmission 3 laps into the heat. It swapped out a transmission with the way wrong gear and still got qualified P2. And then when he spun himself out, no, he was grabbing a gear, and it bound up on him. So he was right there with him.
Shift fork or something.
Yeah, and it just locked it and spun it.
Yeah. We'll talk about some other hard nights when we get to the Royal Purple Modified
Yeah.
Series. A couple of our friends did.
So great racing there.
Also, the Legends were in action,
Yes.
and Katie Miller
But wait,
took the win. So Donovan's going to queue up some video here for that one.
I got more. I got more.
Here we go, guys. If we go down, once again, it's Donovan's fault.
Ain't going down till the sun comes up. Look,
You're
we have
going
had
down
nothing
on
but
a
good
small
health.
little pup.
Nothing but good health.
We've got good health, apparently.
Here it is. Here it is. Hold on. Let me
Oh,
see.
that's awesome.
Hang on, he's
I'm up.
he's cornholing it right now. He's doing the
I
cornhole.
prematurely played.
Apparently, so it's
He's
Sam Newcomer.
prematurely playing.
Sam
All right,
Newcomer says
so,
you can cornhole.
We got
I'm just reading what Sam Newcomer just said about cornhole.
Sam's a badass. He's
About
cornholing the
cornholing.
shit out of that.
Anyway, you guys can read it if you want.
Don't go there, because in the back of my mind right now, what you're about to play.
James, I want you to
We
read.
gotta clear the
I want you to read what
mechanism right now.
I want you to read what Sam just said, word for word.
You want me to?
No.
Okay,
Out loud.
I will.
share some microphone there. All right, so we got a little bit
He's
of
selfish, he
we got
doesn't
the GoPro footage from Donovan Barr's car for their main event.
Let's show it.
I haven't even seen this.
Let's go to the highlight reel.
Go to the highlight reel. We're taking it up. I gotta figure out what button it is.
If we go dark, it's on Donovan.
So we got GoPro's sitting on there. So come to green.
This is Donovan Barr. We're on top of it right now.
We got I love opening up a lot, watching Barr work his back.
This is interesting because really, you look at Donovan Barr and Katie Miller, and Donovan is in the market right here. See, that was probably
go out there and try it.
What?
That's why I'm here on the talk show. It's hard to know. It's like, so I just lots of this thing. Right here.
I love watching this stuff with you guys. All over the back end. Cars hooked up underneath.
Dragon of hydraulic fluid death all over the racetrack.
He runs her back down. Has a couple of good laps.
Yes, you're right. Katie was getting boots. Donovan was getting boots. That's where he lost.
And saved it.
Yeah, Katie's off.
Hit it too much and you hit the left rear on that apron, it'll kick the car sideways like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a lot of people who didn't have the talent, that would have been a wall.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I would have knocked down every wall on the racetrack.
So I mean, and that saved there. Of course, Katie went on to win the main.
Yep,
Yes,
Donovan
she did.
Ward
The
finished
Kellogg.
second, and then Cameron Madsen finished in the third spot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
great win
think
for
that-
Katie.
Great race.
It's good to see her win.
Oh, yeah.
They said turn down the GoPro sound.
Turn
It down. Oh.
Down.
Might have been too loud.
turn down for what?
What? Do we blow your speakers in your home there?
Probably couldn't even hear us.
I don't care.
Well,
I heard me. That's what's
better for
important.
you.
Go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it word. Go ahead and read it
Be a
word for
part
word.
of it.
yeah.
Read it word for word, James. Go ahead. What does Sam
Do it.
Newcomer say?
Okay, bring it over
This is
here.
from James now.
Okay,
From Sam Newcomer.
Sam Newcomer says, "Oh hell yes, I can cornhole the shit out of that."
You gotta love the pirate.
Dilly dilly pirate.
Dilly.
Pit of misery. It's the wrong drink.
Again, that was from
Hey,
Sam
where's my
Newcomer.
beer boy?
That's over
Here,
there.
boy.
Beer boy.
Here.
Grab one of the yellow
Yeah.
ones out of the
Did
fridge.
you let one of your boys out of the dungeon downstairs?
Right. Well, you know, Kyle's not here, so gotta call up
And he
from
formed a storm. Is that what you're saying? We get it. You think?
gotta bring him up from the
You got those
double
extra vaping
A's.
lips working there.
You're right.
All right, so that was the Hornets.
So
Fantastic race.
Bombers were in action last night,
And
and Monica Heath took the checker flag
I'm glad,
last night.
I'm glad she got a win on her birthday.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah.
We're good.
Was her birthday
wishes.
yesterday?
We
Sorry.
had
It was her
Susie Dillon-
birthday.
Susie Dillon
Yesterday?
Warren.
Yeah,
Yes.
Warren.
I didn't know that, dang it.
And Monica Heath both had birthdays yesterday.
Yeah.
Beer
Yeah,
boy's
she
asking
took
a
the win
question.
last night.
No, I'm
awesome.
good, thank you.
Wayne Torkelson and Nick Durbin. That's your top three in the Bombers.
Durbin.
Yeah, Durbin actually
Dick Durbin.
fast enough.
Dick that
Dick
Nerman.
Nurbin finally turned some laps.
Yeah,
He was having a
looked-
rough go at it the whole day, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know that earlier this week he wasn't sure he was going to make it out, but you know,
Yep.
Had some help from A1 Kim Direct and
Yeah.
our friends over there, Lynn Sharp and the group.
surprised he didn't try to sell the truck.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And we talked about Hornets. James here last night took the win as well. Monica was right there though at the end.
Yeah, it was a good
Very-
race.
Very surprising that Monica. Well, not surprising, but you know, it's good to see her.
If I made a single mistake, she would
would've-
have won that race.
Yeah, she was coming out of turn 4, coming for the checker flag. She was looking down low underneath James.
Yep.
And
At one point, I thought they were actually going to dump the water barrels during Hornet main.
I wouldn't have been sad about that.
Well, I was kind of thinking.
he knows how to run in water. So
And Adam
yeah.
looked at me and goes, "It'll dry before you guys come out." I'm like, "No, no." And he goes, "No, it's still a little water." I'm like, "No,
It'll dry.
we're
Yeah.
up next or
good.
something."
We had the backwards toe meter race last night. James, you were
Yeah.
a part of that. How do you do
The
that?
flagpole race.
Dude, I get tired watching how much you race.
So how do you,
Okay.
so how do you do that? Tell the
Okay,
fans.
so there are two ways to do it. Either you can
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, you can either loosen your belts, you can put your arm behind the roll cage and look backwards, or you can just use your mirrors. Which I couldn't even look backwards, so I just used my mirrors, and you just gotta pray. Yeah, it was. I started close to the back, which would be the front, I guess, and made my way to the. Made
Front,
my way to
which
the.
would have been the back.
Yeah, I made my
year-
way to the back, and
This year was a little bit different. You guys, they call it the flagpole race, but you actually did a circle around an outhouse.
yeah, we had an outhouse,
Yeah.
and going into turn 1, we had to make a circle around it, and then go the that was really good for me because it gave me the opportunity to get back up into second in that race. But
Awesome.
Jeff Matuska, he did an awesome job in that race. He was.
Yeah, he won.
I think they were talking to you. I think they were on here talking to you.
Yeah, that was his wife.
You know, one
I
thing I'm a
believe.
little disappointed. We got all these people watching tonight, and nobody's asking us any questions to ask
Right.
James, or asking us questions
Any
about
questions?
RP mods, or
Any questions
or,
for James?
or Donovan
Anything.
about Charmaine's or Sheba. Or nothing. Nobody's asking any questions about anything.
And Sheba's always the big hit after you guys leave.
You know, TMI. We just got to talk later. I'm making you stay after the show.
Well, that brings us to the.
That was funny in my world. It's his fucking house. Oh, it's his grandma's.
Grandma's basement.
That's right. What else happened?
Brings us to the Royal Purple Modified Series.
Who?
last night.
Never heard of her.
Yep. Round
That
8.
rookie series, right?
Round number 8 of the Royal Purple Modified Series.
Number
last
8.
night.
8. We ran around a lot. We ran around 75 times.
75 laps. Chris Fenton was fastest in qualifying. The only car in the 13-second bracket last
Yep.
night in qualifying.
Wow.
13
Yeah, you know, I got to back up. Let's talk a little bit about that, too, because in hot laps, when we started out in hot lapping our cars last night, one of the cars I thought that was going to be very, very tough to beat in qualifying was the 96 car of Aubrey Wortman. And I expected her to do really, really, really well in qualifying. Her first hot lap session, they went out and promptly broke an axle. They kept circling and cycling them and out. We were trying to figure out what was going on. The axle actually broke off inside the gear. And so they actually had to change out the pumpkin, and they could not find a 28.5-inch size axle. We could not find one. It just so happens that Eric Reed, one of our competitors, had a backup car up in his hauler. They actually had to get the backup car, move it out, pull an axle out of it, and it was just enough to where it would engage enough of the splines inside the gear and inside the drive plate to where she could actually qualify. So I expected that car to be right there in qualifying.
Right.
But yes, Fenton did qualify second. Or
First 13-9 something.
And
everybody else
we
was
got to talk about something here, because who qualified second was pretty cool. Making his debut
Who had a
last
one-lap qualifying session.
night. Yes.
Yeah.
And if you watch the
Self-induced.
show here, you know that we all kind of have a little affection for a young man named Zachary Telford.
Not an unhealthy one, mind you.
No, he's a good kid. And his dad's good people, and the whole family's nice folks. And they've been good supporters of racing in the Treasure Valley.
Yeah.
Zachary's been running the crap out of a legend, running junior late models all around the country, wherever they can find a place to put him. Well, our insurance rules say that he needs to be 14 years old. So Zachary turned 14 about a week and a half ago. And
Yep.
they have a beautiful modified that they've been they've had
Gorgeous
for about a year.
car.
Masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I was talking to his dad earlier in the
James.
day, and they said they're going to probably stay more local now. Now that he's 14,
Sure.
he's going to stay more local now.
That he can get to the regional tracks
Yeah.
here.
So second in qualifying with a 14.0
With
was
one lap.
Zachary Telford.
Wow.
With one lap, because on his second lap he spun out coming out to. He was going to try to do a 13.2 or something. I don't know.
We had 3 practice sessions last night. He was second on the board in the first practice session, first on the board, first on the board.
Yeah.
And
It's
That
the
car
kid
was
gets out of this monster
fast.
modified, and the kid's like 4 feet tall.
Half the
If
size
that.
of me.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
He's
a
tiny.
small guy.
Yeah.
And he's never going to be a real big guy. And that's actually good for his career, because a lot of these cars, they can compensate with ballast rather than the driver's weight. So it's an interesting deal. Danny Christiani and his dad James worked their butts off on that car, and they got the car right there.
That's is amazing.
So those two cars, both Fenton and Telford, were both Christiani crude cars.
And Wortman.
And Wortman too. Yeah.
Her
Kurt does
fiance
most
has a
of it.
little
Yeah,
little to
Kurt-
do with
Kurt
that.
does most of that car though. That's really Kirk Wortman's car. But yeah, he has something to do with it, I'm sure. Third in qualifying tonight or last night. First making
51.
his debut, the 51 car of
Boom!
Larry Hull, the third Bohol.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
I spent some time down in their trailer, and they were just, I don't think we're going to be competitive. We're running mid-pack.
Bullshit.
That's just what we're going to be doing. Goes out there. He was top of the board first practice, and then they made some changes, kind of backed it up a little bit, and they were top 5, top 4 in the other 2 practices. But man,
Yeah.
I don't think a single car out there cornered in better than that 51 car did.
You and I were watching in turn 3.
And knowing Larry, and my son competed with him in the mini stocks when he was a young man. My son was young too at the time. Larry can flat drive.
Yeah.
I think he's better on the skinnier tire. It fits his driving style better, where you have to man up and do it.
Right, and he can drive aggressive, and he can drive it well.
Yes, and very proud of the fact that he came and ran so well. So qualifying, 4th place in qualifying, I believe, was Aubrey.
Kip Lish.
Kip
Yeah.
Lish, that's right.
Yes.
Our guys from
Pokey!
Yeah, Good to see him.
God, that was fun having them there, wasn't it?
Oh my! All three.
Let's give them a clap.
Yep.
Clap to the Huntsakers. All right,
got
we got to
the
talk about them. I'm wearing the shirt tonight out
Yeah.
of support. Huntsaker group came over with Kip Lish and Brendan Watt, along with their good friend Mike Fulmer. Came over from Pocatello. Their plan all along has been to get to the point where they could run to the Royal Purple Modified Series. We see that happening finally. And Brad, I've known a long time. It's a good friend. I call him my brother from Pocatello. Long-time racer, many time champion, stalwart in many different classes, and the stuff always looks like $1 million. And he's always had a lot of effort, and they spend a lot of time on their cars. Brendan is a 3-time champion in Pocatello, and I think Kip has won one too, but I can't make 100% sure. But nice folks, they came to the barbecue on Friday, and great to see them out there having fun.
Actually, Brendan, he 2-time champion.
Two-time?
Brendan, That's what he told me.
How old is he now?
18.
He is 18 now.
He's 18.
He still looks like a freaking 50. He looks younger than.
No, he looks like he's 10 years older than Telford.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I met him 4 or 5 years ago, and to me he's still that junior stinger kid.
Yeah.
But he's got like this little, almost a chin strap, like what Paul's sporting here.
Get a chin strap.
I think so.
So interesting.
At least it's not pencil
Interesting having those guys over. Fast, fun.
Oh, yeah.
And they were kind of being a little patient and cautious with some things. I think they could have been a little more aggressive at times, and they'll get there.
Yeah.
Because the talent's there and the equipment's there. So getting their feet wet, they didn't even put a mark on a car, didn't put a wheel out of line all day. And hopefully we'll see them this coming weekend at Twin Falls. I believe we will.
Brendan was telling me that was his first trip to Meridian ever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's
Meridian's is a different track to run. It is the turn 4 wall comes at you so freaking fast.
Yeah, it looks like a tunnel.
Yeah.
Even though, same guy we were talking about earlier, Ken Chandler, told me one day, go walk that track. The thing's symmetrical. You just got to bring it in your head that it's symmetrical.
Just the
I
wall's
used to
set
give up-
different, but the track is the same.
Yeah. I'd give up turns 4 all the way to turn 1. I'd give it up in my Pro 4 and then try to run the back chute hard. And he was always passing me on the other side because he runs the track it's hard each side. And that's something that I really needed to work on.
That entrance behind the concessions, the way those walls sit when you're coming through, just are enough different than the exit for the pace car on the backstretch sits further down. So you still have more curvature of the wall there with the exit as well to get off the track. So they look so different.
Yeah.
It's all just an illusion.
Right,
Yes,
but
100%.
when you watch the lines and you watch the grooves and you don't look at that wall,
Right.
it's such an easier track to drive.
A story that our friend Davey Hamilton told me one time. He said when you're going down the front chute at Indy and you're doing 230 miles an hour, and you're looking down there at Indy at the end of the racetrack, you're trying to pick up your braking points and so forth. When you come into the pagoda and the stands, I'll start closing in like that. He goes, you feel like you're going into a tunnel, and you got this little spot you got to hit your marks. But if you go drive around Indy, like maybe some of you have done when you visited there, that turn is as long as Meridian.
Right.
And he's like, no, it's you have maybe 2-3 feet you got to hit, and I raced it, so you know you have to hit that 2-3 feet, and it looks like a tunnel, and he's 100% right. So I pair that up with what we're talking about Meridian Speedway. It's the feeling that all of a sudden there's shade and darkness, and there's something tall right there. It's just an optical. I mean, you got to get over it if you want to run fast.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, definitely so. Heat races.
The Road Purple Heat races.
Let's talk about that. Mark Newman.
Loved
it. Took the first.
He had some crappy practice runs.
Well,
still good time.
What happened in practice?
He was kept blowing some of the back end of his car.
Well, he actually had a valve cover coming loose.
Was it the valve cover?
The valve cover
I thought it
came
was
loose and hurt the gasket, and he ended up putting new gaskets on it. But before he had that problem, he was top 5 on the.
Oh yeah, he was fast. Just all of a sudden.
Yeah. We had the same problem in Hermiston with Willie Thompson. Had the same program. He had the right side valve cover gasket broke and came off on the headers. Thank God there was no oil down, and Mark didn't have any problems with the car at that time. But his car's fast.
Yeah.
And he was driving the shit out of it. Mark's come a long way. He's probably our most improved driver right now.
His setup from the first couple of races when they were at Meridian to now, I mean, just his ability to corner through and come out, just so much better.
Yeah. You know what? I got a shout out, and I know Mark would do it if he was sitting here. The shout out has to go to Kyle Tellstrom because Kyle is a good friend of Mark's and helps him on that car. And I think he's driver coached him at the point where he's fast, and he's also in his ear on the racetrack. So.
He looked stout in that first heat race to take the win.
Oh, it took off.
Took off and left down, and he should have qualified better. Going back to his qualifying lap, I was releasing the cars onto the racetrack. When he came out of turns 3 and 4, when he worked through 3 and 4 to start his second lap, he lost it in 4, got all sideways, and it screwed up both of his laps because he had no straightaway speed when he crossed the line. So he should have probably qualified top 6. And his heat race was not a surprise for me that he packed up and left town.
Yeah, yeah. And then the second heat race, the fast heat race.
No, there wasn't a fast and a slow. We just had
they snake
heat
races. Yep.
Yeah, the Scott Gilligan took the win in that.
He took off and left town again.
Yeah, we had Scott before
the heat race win of the year.
I didn't think that you guys were going to let that go but it was the 86. 86 on the outside didn't quite get it going. They both accelerated at the same time.
Hang on, no. Scotty was shifting.
Was he?
Yes.
Because he was a bat out of hell.
86 just put his Falcon in, and he doesn't have the ability to shift.
Oh.
And it was his, and then Scotty was rolling him up there where he's slow, and I knew what he's doing. I'm like, he's going to.
Dude,
so I watched
had a 6-car lead going into 1.
As soon as the flagman, TJ LaBronte's arm went like this, Scotty was gone. And TJ goes, "Was it good? You heard me.
Yeah.
You guys both heard me. We're both on the radio." I said, "That's a good start." I don't know what to say. And
it was
Matt Agley, who was his long.
It was like watching a sprint car run a Hornet. It was just.
Matt was standing next to me, and he goes, "What happened there?" And I said, "He shifted. That's why he runs a 4-speed Jericho or whatever."
Which is legal.
Perfectly legal. But, we probably ought to look at that because there are some series and late models and so forth where you can't shift on the start because you break components and then everybody's stacked up.
Right.
So it's something that we can consider in the off season, but it's not something that we're going to do
right now. Giggity.
Giggity.
And Gilligan walked away with it. No one could catch him.
No, he was gone.
You had a second and third in that run was it the 49 again
and 49X of Brennan Watt.
Yeah, and they weren't running him down.
No, and Scott led 15 laps to the main.
Yeah, and so going to the main,
15 laps,
same thing happened there. That green flag fell, and Scotty was on pole and checked out.
And one thing about Scotty is budget. It comes into play. He's running tires that he's run bit, and if it's just like Willie Dalton when we put tires on his car, he flies. When Scotty's got the tires on the car, ability's not the issue.
Right.
So it's just a matter of having it done. So
Yep. That was fun.
Aubrey Warman, she led some laps
he
as
didn't
well.
shift. Oh, he's telling me he didn't shift because he had the bungee cord holding gear. Whatever he did, it worked.
No, dude, you were freaking on fire.
Whatever he did, I figured he was shifting. But he had a big old bungee cord for hot laps. I remember they were qualifying or something. I remember that. You're right.
Nice.
I forgot all about that.
Aubrey Warman led some laps in that main event as well.
Yeah, no, she led a chunk of them.
Aubrey Wortman in that main event, I think she coasted a bit at one point.
Second half.
Yeah, I wanted her, to have a good finish like that. I told you, I said Aubrey's going to win this main. You watch. And they got their problems fixed just before qualifying, and I don't think they had the opportunity to put enough laps down because right before qualifying, I gave her 2 safety laps, and that was it. That's what she had before qualifying. They didn't really get a chance to dial the car in. And I think they could have made some changes.
Maybe 8-10 laps of quality practice before laying down her qualifying.
Yeah, and there was one point in the main where she was half a lap late going. And
when they started working traffic.
Yep, and the yellow flags fell. If we didn't have that last yellow, I think she wins the main going away. But we had 3 cautions for all minor stuff. The 70 car Brian Worf got into the 17 of Newman.
Which is bumper tag, spin and go.
Zachary Telford got pinched a little bit against the front chute wall. We couldn't really confirm which car touched a little bit with him. And he tried to hold the car through the corner. When he stopped back on the gas a little bit, it was so dirty out there from them moving all the cars on and off the track. The top groove was junk. And as soon as he touched the throttle, you could see the car fishtailing. He did a good job of not letting it roll down the track or hitting the wall. So great job for the 14-year-old kid holding on to the car and not causing a bigger deal. What was our third yellow?
The incident with Eric Reed and Bo Hall going to turn 3. I could have sworn both cars were going to go on the wall.
Oh,
I could have sworn they were going to go.
It was at my feet. You're telling me?
Yeah, going into 3 when they made the connection right before the apex for the grate. I thought either he was going to roll over or they were both driving right into the turn 4 wall. And I'm like, this is done.
They made contact in the back chute.
Back chute,
and then going in into 3.
Middle of the back chute.
Yeah, but they were nose into door through corner.
The neat thing was, with both of them were standing there, Eric and Bo, and Chris Fenton, who was right behind him at the time. And he said, guys, they were like talking, what did I do? What did you do? I don't know. What did you see? They were just kind of like, whatever, And they were cool about it. And Chris goes, no, what happened there was a 100% Meridian Speedway racing deal. And neither one of you were at fault. That was just a racing deal. And they're like, oh, okay.
Cool. All right.
Shout out has to go to Hull on that because I think he was going to run second. Aubrey's car started getting loose and loose and loose, and she had to keep backing up her corner a ton, not getting the center corner speed, which you need to really have modified to be fast, and any car at Meridian be fast, if we're honest. But Larry broke a rear gear. We smelled it. We started calling it out about lap 55. Right in there. I said rear gear. I thought it was
they
actually,
count backwards, so I don't know what lap
actually,
that
I thought it was Scotty Gilligan, because Scott evidently something got warm or something was just leaking a little bit. But we started seeing a little bit of haze of smoke, and TJ hits the mic at the flag stand. And goes, "No, it's earlier than Gilligan," because they were on opposite sides of the track, and all of a sudden Larry pulled to the bottom of the track and let Fenton to the top, and I'm like, "What the hell are you just giving him the top for? Fenton's gonna roll you the top." And Larry said that it started vibrating real bad and the gear was gone. And he knew it, and he didn't think it was going to last, so he pulled off 3 laps later.
Oh, and it was, what 5 to go, 7 to go?
It was 10 to go when he pulled down, and probably 8 to go when
he pulled off.
When he pulled off.
My gut sank. Oh,
yeah.
To have that good of a run.
Yes.
And end it just a few laps short.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, been there.
But you know what, Chris?
Fell one time leading on. Big race.
You know what, Chris Fenton, though, starting shotgun in the field and just masterfully worked his way through that whole entire field.
Saved his tires.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, he was a half a lap behind in 10th place, lap 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was that break where you had half the field was kind of negotiating around the 33 and 86 to get through, and they were just slowly. Everyone 75 laps was perfect because they had the opportunity to take their time, get through those couple of cars who were kind of holding them up. Leaders did get away, but man, then we had the caution that came out a little bit after that. But that was a fantastic opportunity to watch drivers drive and to work that traffic and look a little high, look a little low.
Yeah, they were driving their butts off. That was, and we've had, this is our 6th year, so we've had 30 so races or so, no more than that, 50 so races or so, and that probably was my favorite night from a fan's perspective of how the drivers took care of one another and drove well. I mean, we had Brian Wharf out there in a car that was down 150 horsepower on some of these guys, running his butt off, driving through the corners. And if I don't care what it is, you'd be racing tricycles. If you beat Brian Wharf, you did a great job.
Yep.
Which is what Zach Silver did in the last lap.
Yeah, Zachary passed him on the outside.
On the last lap.
Incredible race. So our rundown essentially for our finish last night. And we haven't even talked about our boy Yee yet. Because he had a hell of a night. Hell of a race.
So Chris Fenton did take the win. Aubrey Wortman, a very respectable 2nd place. And then Neil Latham did come in top 3.
Neil was there. He was in the top 4 50 laps.
Yeah.
And he didn't get really in the side-by-side stuff. He did a great pass on Newman earlier in the main, on the inside, going down the back chute into 3. Fantastic textbook pass. Then, and you can see the new Joker theme for the Yee car. We took some advice from some friends, and we're starting to get some of the cars to come out with a theme. And that's our first one there. So beautiful race car.
Awesome looking.
It looks awesome.
Those guys have had that car dialed for the last couple races. They found some things in the car that are working for them, and real excited about the future of that car. You're seeing also there on the screen. Next shot will be the 17 car of Zachary Telford. Beautiful STR race car.
Phenomenal.
And yep. My right leg wouldn't fit in that seat between the steering wheel and the seat, but I can't get in it, or I'd steal it. Act like the pace car. And you can see Aubrey Wortman there. Fantastic evening last night. I don't know, Donovan. Was that our funnest race?
In my opinion, on driver talent and drivers giving drivers a race, that was the best I've seen.
Lots of side by side.
I think there's a race over in Twin that was about as exciting. But this one here, as far as where the cautions fell, we started 15 cars on the track. We finished 14 cars on the track. Every single car loaded up on the trailer.
13.
13?
Bo came off. 17 and Bobo.
Yeah. But everyone loaded on everyone's fine. A couple little fixes.
And everybody was happy.
Thursday. Yeah.
And had a great time.
But everybody.
Everybody was happy. I didn't have any drama at all from drivers.
Yeah, well.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was more up in the spotter stand. We had a little bit of drama up there, which is par for the course.
Yeah, the spotter stand is kind
my
of my
favorite place to hang out.
It's just what it is. The spotter stand, it's especially when I got to say this correctly. When you haven't done a lot of spotting before, or you're not used to it,
It's a different animal.
Troy Furman is the best, right? And Susie Wortman, right?
Yes.
They're like the best two. You go to these two people, you watch what they do. Troy will sit in there and won't even say a word. And his car's passing people and stuff because it's Trevor or it's Chris or whoever. And they're passing people. Troy just takes his radio off and walks away. Doesn't say anything to anybody. And you didn't even know he was there. But he's so in control of his emotions and things, he realizes he ain't driving shit.
Yeah.
But some of the spotter guys get all fired up. They think they're actually in the car and stuff. You ain't in the car. You know? And that's one of the things we got to work on in the series, and I could do better as a promoter, of course, is tell them at the driver's meeting, drivers, you drive your car. Spotter's there to tell you high, low, and lineups.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you straight up, from my viewpoint, and this is just my opinion, if we didn't have to do lineups quick, I wouldn't even have a spotter. The spotters exist for me for lineups. Period. I do race control. But the teams like that. I like the wives and the teams be able to interact with the headsets and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's cool. They like that. They feel part of the group. Okay. Just don't use that for drama. Right. Don't read in too much of it. How many times did I race and somebody come down out of the stands and go, you need to go kick that guy's ass? What are you talking about? That guy that ran over you in the main event. I mean, that guy? Yeah, that guy over there. Oh, shit, my car popped out of gear. He had nowhere to go. He hit me in the ass, spun me out. He's my buddy. Why would I want to beat him up?
Yeah.
It ain't his fault. I'm sorry for damaging the front of his car. My car popped out of gear.
Yeah.
Oh, well, who are we going to beat up then? Go beat yourself. I don't know. And they're like...
Go beat up that can of beer.
Yeah, because they don't fucking know. I mean, they don't see what...
No, they're not in the car.
If the driver jumps out, it's mad. Usually there's a point, and the drivers know how to talk about it because they've all been there. They've all screwed up. They've all made good moves. Right? And the driver will be the first to say, hey, I got a little empathy for you because, a year ago I did the same dumb damn thing. But here's what I did to fix it. Okay, and they move on, fair? And we got that in the group. But spotters, that was actually a calm night in the spotter stand.
No, to some of the ones we've been to, that was fantastic. Yeah. And everyone, and because I think it was a product of what was on the track as well, spotters didn't have to work so hard or get so dramatic. And the way the cautions fell down, everyone had a chance to breathe. Yep. And it wasn't 105 degrees.
Yeah. No, it was nice out there. That cloud cover. Hey, let's catch up on some stuff.
Oh,
that's on
yeah.
DJ
so really quick. So Eva Destruction number 10, very successful night. Probably one of my favorite Eva Destructions over the years.
Give a clap to Meridian Speedway. Yeah. Full clap.
Let's do that. So before you. Go ahead.
One thing that we haven't covered that happened the whole night was something that I thought was really, really cool, which was getting Mulder into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
I have not a lot of love for Mulder. I'm happy to continually say that. But, hey, it was a good presentation. They got him in. Rightly earned. So I will give an unsungy thing for that.
You know where that sits in my heart. I'm the chairman of the Hall of Fame. And unfortunately, our banquet situation was a little different this last year. That's a 2017 inductee.
Right, you're a little late on the draw there, Bubs.
Well, we have also on the September 15th, we have David Wirtz Sr., Pete Picker Wirtz going in. Same ceremony, but David may not be able to make it. His health's really bad.
Yeah.
But he'll be watching, hopefully, from Golden Valley, Arizona from us. And so that's going to happen. We're going to have David inducted. But last night, Steve had, he always does this when he has his family in town. He rented the skybox and so forth at the racetrack. And going back to Steve Mulder, one of the best engine builders, championship-winning engine builders around. What he does at the racetrack as a race controller, a race director, race controller, pit steward, whatever you'd like to call the team, my father did. So I have a lot of empathy there. I've had it out with Mulder many times. I was young, dumb, I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, but I sure thought I did. And Mulder was just trying to help me. When I realized what a gift Mulder is to Meridian Speedway was when my son started racing this sprint car. We had a sprint car for 1 year there, limited sprint, a Pepsi sprint, whatever you'd like to call them. And we didn't have very good equipment. And he was in the way a bunch. We started in the back on purpose a bunch. There were some times he was really fast. There were some times when the car's power steering went out, and all of a sudden in the middle of the main, he's dog shit. And Mulder would coach him through that for me. And at the time, I thought Mulder didn't like me very much. That was dumb, because Mulder liked me fine. But
right.
Going back to it, I really appreciate Steve for all he's done. And he was a shoo-in. He'd come very close to winning a couple of times, getting in the Hall of Fame. But this year, the committee, Dan Breach, Adam Nelson, myself, I expanded the committee into 3 people. We're probably going to pick Terry Ellis up and have 4. So we're going to ask probably for submissions for Hall of Fame, and then we'll decide. It'll probably be a little bit different than the vote.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
we'll see.
Awesome.
So thanks for shouting that out. DJ.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was something that it's not something you see all the time when they're out there.
You're going to get your dang answers. We're doing this recap first. DJ's going to get there.
So one more thing before we leave Meridian Speedway. This past week I did another field trip and for the Linder Learning Academy, and thank you so much to Luke Wolverton and his girlfriend Randy Work for bringing their mini stock out to showcase to the students.
Good for them,
and
man. That's cool.
Yeah.
And Luke was answering
That's so
questions
cool.
to the kids, and he was putting kids in his car. So thank you, Luke and Randy, for your time to give back to the community. So thank you so much for that.
That's what we're doing is we're paying it forward, right? Get those kids
That's right.
excited about bringing cars themselves out to the racetrack.
Yeah.
That's cool. Good job, Luke.
Future drivers.
Yeah,
Right.
Randy. As a matter of fact, Randy says, Donovan, when are you going to have your mini stock race ready again?
Oh, yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
Okay, and then
I'm gonna
Randy, I
sabotage
love
you
you.
for
I
next
love that you are back at the races. We've missed you all year. At least I think you haven't been there because I haven't been there a lot either.
oh, you haven't been there.
But it's great seeing you a couple weeks ago out
Yeah.
there. So
And she also asked, when's James Pahl going to go to mini stocks, and is he going to race
I
in
think
Neon?
he's running
Yeah,
Donovan's, isn't he?
no, he's running the. I'm
Kyle
gonna
Klein car?
skull fuck you.
I'll keep an eye out for you.
So Bobby Gilligan asks, what exactly does it take to become a Royal Purple driver?
Money.
Right?
And I don't know. You gotta. If I watch you race and you crash stuff, we'll kick you out. If you do drama, we don't watch you. But what does it take to become a Royal Purple driver?
Have some
Nerves
experience
of steel and some
and,
experience.
and a crew.
I would say, 20 grand truck and a trailer.
Couple of good friends.
Yeah.
Someone knows how to turn a wrench.
Yeah, because it is the Royal Purple Modified Series. If you don't know a little bit about cars,
help.
if you're not really into the car scene, it would be tough. Bobby, I know your whole family's been in over forever, so that's not a problem for you guys.
Yeah.
But getting into the Royal Purple mods, it's very tough because we run a lot of motor and no tire. We talked about Pro 4s earlier with James, and what I drove was a Pro 4. You got no motor and a huge tire, so that car's easy to drive.
Yeah.
The Pro 4 is really easy.
Yeah, it's just. But the modified, you got to.
style.
Yeah, when he used to kick my ass doing that too. I was out there working my butt up. Chandler's driving by
He's
me one
just
hand
like,
going, "Hey buddy, what's up, buddy?
High five! High five!
I thought everybody see 33 passing by." So
Yeah. So Will Wynn asks any word when the I-10 video will be out, which I worked with I-10 last night, and they worked my tail off last
you did
night.
a really good job last night too.
It was fun. It was different. It's different working in front of a
When
camera.
is the I-10 video going to be out? I don't know. I'm sure that John
That's
and
up to
Valerie
I-10.
are probably
Yeah.
watching. So if you're watching, guys, answer it on the chat, and we'll figure it out.
Well, Nate, you got to think they've got to go through all the in-car cameras that they got,
Oh, yeah.
video capture of,
Takes
all
all
the
the
video that they
Sam
recorded.
is going to do it with his wife and a kid.
Sam's going to do it with his
Stay
wife
keep
and
it
a
in
kid.
California, Sam.
Dude, I don't think that's legal anywhere.
Well, we don't. No, you can do all that shit, Cali, but you can't have a straw.
You can't have a straw.
And
Californians, we're closed, Sam.
Randy
Closed.
Yeah.
Full.
We're closed.
I know it's full.
So Randy actually gave a shout out to me as well.
Maggot.
Thank you, Randy, for the
Mega baby, maggot, mega. Okay.
Maggot.
Mega.
yeah.
Well, I got.
Of course, you're allowed 604 motors. You can run a D8 Cat. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you guys want to do next? We do have some results from Magic Valley as well.
There's no motor.
Hold on,
rules. Gotta have one.
We got
That's the only rule.
Telford sent over a video of Telford. Telford sent a video. Of
Let's do it. Let's.
Hold on real quick here.
Let's do it.
Remember where the button
Something kind of cool here. You guys that are hanging out, Royal Purple fans, there's still 27 people watching. Brian Wharf, we all consider one of the top dogs ever, right?
Oh,
We
no,
all
this
love Brian Wharf.
was
This is Zachary
earlier.
Telford working him for the last 10 laps or so of the
No,
modified main
this
last
is
night.
earlier. This is.
Telford hit the wall right there.
Wall.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know he hit the wall.
Still get by him.
I didn't know he hit the wall.
Wharf was loose coming out.
At this point in the race, we were trying to move the lappers out of the way for the leaders because they were on the other side of the racetrack. There's Chad Barker down on the inside with a broken oil line off the 87 car.
That was just freaking amazing.
Worf's car was just a little bit loose and a little bit
different. And Zachary's car started getting that forward bite, and I think he really started getting the fight built up inside of Zachary, too.
Well, after looping him around and then having to run back and catch everybody.
And to finish 5th, hell of a job, kid.
Oh,
Dilly-dilly.
that kid.
Yeah.
Dilly. For him to be driving a modified for him to be driving a modified at 14 years old, can you just
No, his voice carries even over you. He's spiking.
well for him to be driving a modified at 14 years old, just imagine when he's my age. Imagine what he'll be like. It's going to be
You give him 3 or 4 years to get comfortable inside that thing, and holy balls.
With the people he has around him.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, by the time he's out of high school, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
It's going to be real bad.
Force to be reckoned with.
So apparently, according to the clock here, we got 5 minutes left. If you want to go till 8:30, we can go as long as you want. It doesn't matter. But
No goddamn rules here.
we've
No
got
rules.
we've
don't
got
need no sneaking rules.
we have racing from Magic Valley Speedway last night as well.
They raced at Magic
Yeah,
Valley Speedway?
yeah,
And
yep,
Pocatello.
Mini stocks!
and Pocatello, yeah.
We had the eve of
So the
Right.
Bud Mods were in action last night, and Casey Pearson took the win over
Nice.
Abe Carter and Tony Fernetton. ISRL Super Sixes also were in action. Tony Ackerland won the race. Kate Jackson finished second.
Nice.
Rob Grice rounded out the top 3. 13 cars showed up to that race last night. Lion Tamer Mini Stocks had double main events, and Justin Carson won both of them. And Super Stocks, no question there. Willie Dalton once again took the win.
Dun, 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 dun. He got a call out. Willie Dalton took a hard wreck last night in the modified.
Yeah.
So we probably won't have that car. Willie's working his butt off to get it back out there. He's pretty sore today. I talked to him this morning a bit.
Yeah.
Willie woke me up about 9:30, texting me, telling me about a track, and he doesn't understand that I got home about 3. So I was like,
You guys
"Willie,
were-
I'm asleep.
I
You
left there a little
you
after
left
1.
Lightweight. You left around 1.
Right. No.
You're getting old, dude.
I am.
Wait till you turn 50.
Yeah. Just wait till you turn 50.
I don't think I'm going to make it that far.
I hope not. You're judged for something, restraining order or something.
Oh, man. Jeff Peck and Mitch Pearson rounds the top 3 for the Super Stocks. Street Stocks, Chris McKean won in the Street Stocks. Yeah.
Chris McKean won a race at Magic Valley Speedway.
I know. Greg McCann, Eddie Cole. That's your top 3
Wow.
right there. Junior Stingers and Bobby Gilligan. Here you go. You've been waiting for this one here. Kathan Gilligan. Yeah.
We
won
watched
main
the whole
event.
thing.
Right.
live
Oh, yeah.
with Michelle in the trailer. It was awesome.
They were out running
We
their heat
watched it live.
races, getting ready for the heat races, and we were sitting there watching them.
Wow.
That was cool.
K-Man. Give a clap to
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh,
going to give. Oh, he's just look at him.
Well, let's give him a golf clap, not the big
You
clap.
can't give him a big class.
Is that the under 18 version?
Yeah, he's like 12. No, 9.
Oh, he can't. He can't get the clap then.
No, he's smaller than Telford.
It's a clap. Smaller than Telford. So there you go, Bobby. Kathan gets some love right there. Congratulations to you and your family.
Yeah, did a great job.
Yeah.
Good night all the way around for the team.
Yes. Awesome T-shirt you're sporting there, Todd,
Yeah,
from,
it is.
from
It's bitchin'.
Dave.
You missed it, Dave.
Yeah, he did the modeling. He did the
modeled the
catwalk
shirt
and
earlier.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Too sexy for this shirt, though.
Too sexy.
Please don't take it off. 'Cause I'm a model.
Right on.
So what's coming up? I guess at
I want to say something.
Okay, go ahead,
I gotta
say
say-
something.
Okay, it's time to get the controversy going.
Oh,
D loves
here we go.
controversy.
I love it.
I've had
gotta
just
bring
enough
it.
Mike's Hard Lemonades tonight.
Here we go.
How many paved tracks do we have in southern Idaho?
Paved in southern Idaho. We have
Paved
3.
tracks. Just circle tracks, not
Right.
burgers or something.
Yeah, I'll get you.
3, right.
Meridian, Twin, Pocatello.
How many do we have? 3, right?
Yeah.
Well, is Idaho Falls paved or dirt?
Dirt.
Okay, because there's atomic.
So, of those 3 classes, did they all run last night?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
Pocatello.
yeah, they did. Yeah,
okay.
they did.
I don't know if Pocatello ran or not.
They did.
Okay, so yes, that is
How many of
affirmative.
those tracks ran modifieds last night?
All
all
3.
3.
What the hell? This is me saying to you, what the hell?
We covered that 3 weeks ago.
I mean,
WTH.
weren't we trying to build something? I mean, we did cover it 3 weeks ago, but I'm kind of ticked right now. We had 6
So
cars
here's
at
the thing.
Pocatello. We had, what did he have at Magic? 3, 4?
5.
5?
5. Yeah.
Okay, they had 5. All right, so let's say that 3 of more of those cars from Pocatello travel, because a couple of them, whatever.
Yeah.
I know that 3 cars were at Magic Valley that have ran with me before. Let's just put it that way. Okay? We had 15 at Meridian. So let's call that a 21-car field. Let's work together.
Yeah.
We try to do that every winter, and we talk about it, and everybody wants to support this and support that.
Yeah.
Hey, if you need me to move off a date because you got to run modifieds that night to make a living at your racetrack or whatever, no problem. I'll get off that date for you. I'll move it around. But don't schedule against each other.
Right.
I mean, we're trying to do this. The best thing for everybody is no competition and helping each other. If you try to win all you can for you, guess what? You're not going to win anything.
It's not going to work.
A rising tide lifts all ships.
There you go.
You make it healthy for everybody, and everybody is healthy.
And Pocatello's a lost cause. We know that because they're not going to listen to
Which-
anybody. They won't come to Warpa. They won't even come to our. They won't even come to our. They're a lost cause as far as listening to anybody else.
They are a ship adrift.
Well, they
So-
told me that they were only going to pay our top 3 if we booked
Right.
a date there, and I said, I got this for you, and I got this for you, and you know,
So I don't know
one
if
for
you-
each of you.
I don't know if you want to get into this or not, but are the drivers revolting against that track right now at Pocatello? Is that what the story?
It's not for me to get into. You guys
Okay.
can talk about it.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't know the details, so I could suppose.
That's like, yeah.
Hey, where's the Hunsikers at? Somebody give me a call.
Anyway, that's
Okay.
enough of
We're on
that.
for another hour, boys.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, we get
More
it.
beer.
We got
Okay,
you.
enough, Mike. Or-
Okay. Yeah.
I got a whole cooler over there.
So yeah, message heard there from Todd. It's
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
So
And when you have that many tracks and that small, I mean, really, if you go 4 hours from Boise, you have Pocatello and you have Hermiston. Figuratively, yeah, Salt Lake a little bit far, but they're closing. So you have within a 4-hour drive from Meridian, 4.5-hour drive, you've got 4 good tracks to run at. That's to draw from. Just in Idaho alone, we got the 3. Working together, you get better car counts, especially at that mid and higher level series, where you can get cars like the Pro 4 series, the Tri-Track Challenge they did, with the Royal Purples, with the ISRLs, with the Pro Trucks. Not stacking against one another lets a lot more fans see the kind of racing they want. Not stock car guys don't all like sprint cars. Not all sprint car guys like, you have your open wheels, you have your closed wheels.
That's why we run 9 weekends a year.
Right.
Rather than 25.
There's more than enough dates, there's more than enough tracks to really put on quality shows that will put fans in seats. Because while I love what we do, we don't get paid unless there's butts in the seats.
No, we want to have racetracks.
Right.
right.
And guess what? They're not building any more of them.
That's sad.
Think about that. Mm-hmm. When's the last new racetrack that you know of that was built?
Nowhere near here.
Rocky Mountain Raceways. It's closing.
Yep.
Irwindale. Been on death's door now for how long?
Yeah.
And they got 25 million people to pull from.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that 5,000 people a weekend and out of 35 million people or 25 million people aren't interested.
Can't do a
in going to watch
1%
NASCAR.
draw. Come on, people.
I mean,
We had 5,300 people at Meridian last night. That was freaking amazing.
and I don't care if
So
they want to
many
drop
people.
some boats and then blow some shit up.
Right?
If we get
Do that every fucking week.
Adam said
know.
it perfect during our pit meeting. I know you didn't attend, James, but and maybe you were busy. But during our pit meeting, Adam said it straight up. He goes, "Yes, tonight nobody's here to see you guys. I'm sorry,
Yep.
but here's what we're going to do. We're going to put on a hell of a great modified race for 75 laps, and we're going to teach them that this is cool too. So that maybe that we get 100 and 200 of them back next week when you guys are running."
That's exactly what happened during the monster truck race.
Yeah.
The fans were here, were at Meridian to see the monster trucks, but
Yeah.
Adam said that we're gonna show them that Hornets and Bombers are awesome too.
And they're fun and affordable.
Yeah.
Not everybody can afford to have a Royal Purple modified run up front, but damn it, they can have a Bomber. And I tell you what, that's Bomber's just as
But
fun.
yeah, by the time you put a Bomber or a Hornet together, you can spend a little bit more, get a Claimer or a Mini,
Yeah.
which are
Any stock for
effectively
the money is the best car.
for the money. I agree.
Yeah.
Claimers, it depends. Some of those Claimers, they've got either really good engineering and they're running their own shops to be able to work on their cars, or they've got a good amount of help with that car.
Yeah.
Claimer?
Yeah, for a top running Claimer.
Or
You-
a lot of experience.
Right.
Or they bought a good car.
Exactly. So you either spent the money, but dollars for donuts, I think Mini is your best car on the track.
Yeah.
Competition wise, this year I think Claimer's your best competition on a week in, week out basis. But yeah, for less than 10, you've got 2 to 3 good quality series you can get into. For less than 2, you can get into your Claimers and Bombers. 3 to 4, you're in a Claimer, you're in a Mini. A little more, you're in a Claimer. A little more, you can get into an ISRL type car, and run back marker in that. But
Yeah.
It's available to go.
So getting back to racetracks, in an era that racetracks are closing down across the country here and there, all I got to say is Meridian Speedway 67th or 68th year in business.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know,
And
you tip your hat. And the city fathers and the community that we're in.
Yep.
God
Yeah,
bless
the dairy
that we're in
board.
this area.
Yeah.
And you know, let's stop and think about this for a second. Over by Emmett on Highway 16. Damn good drag strip right there too. You know how blessed we are. Garrett points this out to me. You know Garrett Doyle is like a dad to me. He goes, "You have no idea how blessed you are for the racetracks you have."
Yeah, what we've got here in the Treasure Valley, man, we're fortunate as all hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there's something you should never miss. It's on next weekend. Next Friday night, you'll see me at the Night Fire Nationals. I'll
Yeah.
be out there for Nitro
is that next
qualifying.
weekend? Oh,
I'm
wow.
taking 3 people from work that have never been to a drag race before.
Yeah.
He'll be there.
One of my buddies, a giant Samoan guy named Mike Pecco. You've met Michael.
Nope.
Michael's one of the
You
nicest.
can't.
guys in
You
the
say
world.
that
He's
every single no. You
he's
talk
we
about
play
him
golf
every
together,
day.
and he's like, "Oh, it's like white guy stuff."
White
Good
guy
Samoan guy. I'm like, you can get your ass out there. You're gonna go to my shit. I go to your barbecues and shit. We have a great time. So he's like, "All right, I'll go." And Michael's a sweet pea. You know, he's one of the nicest men you'll ever meet. He's just scary. but he'll go out there and hear those nitro cars for the first time. His testicles will drop.
Right.
And he'll go, and watch one of those. That car went down the track that damn fast. Oh yeah, and he screwed over the tires and he spun out and he let off halfway because fuck, he didn't have it going. What? Wait till we get a full pull.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
That's just, it's unbelievable going to those races.
So the new family's fantastic people. You know, we lost Bill here a couple years back, but Scott, Brad, John, and their mother have been running the racetrack, and they're fantastic people. Don't ever forget that Super Oval and Chaparral Speedway, the land there was gifted by the new family for us to have an oval track in the valley. So they are first class good folks, right? Good friends of mine. I've known them forever. I sponsored races out there when I was at Peterson's. We still do it. Larry Miller. That goes through me and goes through Tommy Needham and Tom Green. But we sponsor those guys up. Get out there and take a look at those guys. Next weekend, if you can't make the Royal Purple Modified Series race in Twin Falls, check those guys out on a Friday night. Support your local oval track on Saturday night.
Yep.
Go out Sunday and watch the finals if
Yep.
you had a good time on Friday.
Excellent. Yep. So coming up, do you want to say something?
I was going to say, with where we're sitting at in time wise,
Okay.
check out the schedules
Yeah.
online.
Okay.
I think this week we got
We got double made twin 50s for the Big 5 late models
Right.
next week.
One question Sam asked if you can run your numbers on the quarter panels. I don't care. Sure. As long as they're legible and readable from the stands.
Yeah.
With transponders anymore, doesn't matter so much.
right, and that's anymore. It's more aesthetics for the fans.
Pretty much. And we have a number so we can say which guy because you don't remember their name.
Right.
Or know how to pronounce it. You could have somebody named Ochipeni and you wouldn't know how to pronounce it if you weren't around.
I got yelled at for saying it almost right once.
Ochipeni.
Right.
So really quick, modifieds having double main events, ISRL, Pepsi sprint cars also in action, Pro
Mini
4s
stocks.
and mini stocks as well.
You're doing it.
We'll see.
No,
I got a new distributor going on.
He's got,
we'll see if
he's got
it'll
a
run.
1 pound bag of sugar going in his fuel cell so he can come and work for me down at Magic.
Had it happen to me. I know what it's like.
Magic Valley, Royal Purple Modifieds this coming Saturday.
For the Cancer Sucks 75.
Yep.
Anti-Cancer Awareness Night.
Yeah.
Anti-cancer.
Cancer Awareness Night.
Super stocks, yeah. Super stocks, Hornets, Stingers, double deckers, and midgets as well. This coming
Midgets
Saturday.
run with us all
I
the
should
time.
take my Hornet.
Those
up there.
midgets are damn cool.
Yeah.
The Focus Midgets, that's a sealed engine. They can either run the Honda or the
Yep.
The Honda's the B20.
Yeah, the Pro 4 Mini, the one you guys run with Pro 4s.
F20?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd have to be because of the rotation.
And I know that the majority of them, or pretty much all of them, are right there from the Select City area, and they all
Yeah,
travel.
all the
they
young.
all come. They all
Yeah.
come to Twin Falls.
They put on a good
And-
show up there.
Yeah.
And almost every one of them has a modified too. Because you got Hardy's kid, Edith's kid, Young's kid, Waters' family.
Waters, yeah.
So absolutely, they're all. Of course, everybody in Salt Lake's married to one another somehow. And I'm not saying they're inbred. That's not what I'm saying. They're my friends.
Sounded
But
like
I
it.
mean, the families, and it is. I'm sure that when they come up to our place, they go, "They're all married." Yeah, they all. We are.
Yeah, half
But
of
it-
Meridian's related in one way or another.
Well,
I mean, between the Crows, Nelsons, all these other guys. What do you got?
Sean says
Hi,
hello.
Sean.
Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, he's right
Hey,
here.
Dad. Yeah.
Oh Lord, he needs to change the oil in his hair, but other than that, he's
Yep.
good.
You don't want to touch it.
It's 30 weight.
Don't light a match.
Oh, he's doing good. He did great last night, by the way, Sean. You raised a
Yeah.
good kid here.
Yep.
Yep.
We missed
All
you,
right.
Sean, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right,
So
so
that's
here's the deal, guys. Go out and take advantage of our sponsors because we're really lucky to have them. We're also hoping to grow this deal. So if you came on tonight and you had a good time watching the podcast, please tell some friends next week. Next week we'll have a recap from Magic Valley. We'll also have some stuff from Firebird, I'm sure. We'll also have Meridian Speedway's double mains and Pro 4s and mini stocks. Hopefully we'll have a debut of Tucker, or an actual full race from Tucker.
If I can get even just one main event,
The Plaid
just
Warrior
one.
will be out.
One full.
and-
How about, we're gonna go Spaceballs 1. We're going from suck to blow. Wait.
Doesn't sound like you at all.
Nothing. There.
Yeah. So on behalf of our sponsors, the Flores Group, AC to Z Mechanical, Lion Tamer, Charmaine's, Royal Purple Mods, DJ, Todd, James.
and whatever racetrack you choose to go to, bring your friend or two with you.
Yes.
Yeah, and make sure that you're promoting circle track racing and getting somebody. Bring a friend with you. Grab your neighbor too.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Guys, have a good week. Enjoy this weather before it gets hot.
See you. Yeah.